What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back, finally, after what's actually been a month, to Strictly Blizzness, episode 153.
It's only been a month?
It might have been more.
I mean, it feels like
episode
forever.
152 was a month ago.
Okay.
So, huge shout out to Creative Edge, Edge VR, and Cousin Subs. And you will see a promo code that I'll give Sean on the screen that for watching episodes of Strictly Blizzness with a 7.5-inch sub or a sub in a bowl, you get a free order of fries with the promo code GB, gonna look, B, fries, and I'll have Sean put it on the screen. But huge
GBB.
shout out to
GBB
fries. And we'll see if that's nationwide or not. So
I think we've established that.
I think it's geoed where you can use the promo code.
Yeah.
So sorry, all of our non-Wisconsin viewers, but huge shout out to all three partners.
Cousins wouldn't be West Coast.
No.
I mean, it's pretty.
But as the indie
Midwest.
franchise launches, they have some there. So we'll clarify that. But try using it. See what happens.
Yeah,
So,
let us know.
yes.
Excited.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute, but at a very cold time
Yes.
since we've done
It's
this.
freezing. Really cold this week. But
Yeah.
yeah, speaking of cold, sounds like you have one.
I do. I was out of commission for close to 3-4 days, and it's busy in Blizzard World. Got a lot of guitar playing to do, so I'm pacing myself. But yeah, it was a bit rough last week. So
So you didn't get to play this weekend at church?
no,
then?
I pulled myself off for the schedule because we have hour and a half worship night on Wednesday that we figured it was best that I not wreck anybody else for or be able to play that much music on Wednesday. So I pulled myself off rotation on Sunday. But yeah, it's been intense. So I've had some doozies in life, but that one was like can't move, leave the room for an hour. But we're back.
Good.
And we're on the back end of it. So.
Good. All right. There's a lot of it going around, a lot of upper respiratory, the norovirus. You know, it's weird because we've had the warm, cold, warm, cold, warm. And that's how stuff doesn't die. So
Right.
it just stays alive.
Well,
anyway.
Where do you want to go? Because we have...
So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to kind of leave some stuff on the back burner in regards to the rule changes. There, you know, let's talk IFL first, and then we'll go into behind the scenes Blizzard. Before I do, I guess, let's stick that way. I was not able to go to the league meetings this year. Ryan did. He was our representative at the table as an alternate director, so he's going to give kind of a feel on that, I'll say. We did have rule changes that we put in place, and I'm just going to give kind of a carte blanche statement around that. All of our rule changes that we did were under the premise of making it an easier game to ref and understand for new teams coming in, new coaches coming in, refs, because we're trying to ramp up how the refs do the game, and also just to simplify it. A lot of these rules were made when we first started the IFL, and that means we were competing with the AFL, so we were trying to differentiate ourselves and, you know, wanted it to be a more offense type game instead of a defensive type concentrate. Now we're saying, no, let's balance it out a little bit. So there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of simplicity. And then we're always looking at ways to shorten the length of the overall game. So that would really be the premise for a lot of the rule changes that you'll see this year as well as in years to come. But we will have an episode where we'll kind of break down those rules, maybe even have Coach on the show to talk about them a little bit. But from a league meeting perspective, what did you think? I mean, you've been to them before.
Yeah. I'll quick on the rule thing. That was as all those votes went through, that was the premise, right? Like how there was a lot of, why does this still exist? It just makes it difficult for refs that come in.
Yeah.
And it was really neat when the league posted last week, I believe it was, that the general consensus across other coaches and stuff was just excitement around those changes too, because I think it'll make the game more simple to officiate, and there's some really cool things that the coaches were excited about as I watched that unfold across.
Well,
so, yeah.
And it's easier for the players, right? I mean, the players coming in from college
transitioning
are like
from college,
like a what? What
Yeah,
a twist?
right,
What?
yep.
Yeah.
But the league meetings, yes, I've gotten the privilege to go before. It was neat. Great group of owners in the room, and cool to see people you usually don't see. I'm fortunate that I get to work with somebody very passionate about what they own, but people in the room who had a lot of passion around their franchises and the state of the league as the whole and moving the league forward. Some great entities. So I have a notebook full of stuff, so it was cool. A lot of it I was sponging up. A lot of voices in the room. Kevin joked with me. Kevin Guy had asked if Larry and Kathy gave me permission to talk, but there's so much talking going on. But yeah,
Were you
it was
quiet?
really neat. No, but I couldn't
Get a word in?
Yeah, by the time conversations on your left, questions going on over here, and the main dialogue, I'm like, I don't know where to address this. Do I raise my hand? But it was really neat and a lot of passion around, I think, as a whole from that group moving the league forward. So yeah. It's cool to have Kathy flip it and be like, what can and can't you talk about? And she knows what we can't talk about, but there's some amazing things coming in general for the league. And again, I got to tip my hat to some of those hockey people in the building, the Fisher's Freight and the Tulsa Oilers group. I was sitting on a corner with them and some of the FIVO dialogue and ticketing initiatives and just really understand how to do it. So
yeah, I mean they have, how many games do they play in the hockey?
Lot.
Yeah,
30 plus. I mean, yeah.
So, they're doing this on steroids.
Yep.
We have 8 home games. They're 5 times that, if not more, as home games go. But having them in our league gives yet another perspective of where the league may end up going. If other ECHL teams do want to go year round or a more complete balance out with hockey and football, it could be something that we're looking at as a model shift moving forward. Not saying that all teams must, but new teams coming in may be of that mindset. Especially if they own their own arena.
Yeah.
It's a way to fill in dates and, get a fan base that's already established for hockey now watching football.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that was released the week prior to that, too, with the Albuquerque Duke City news, that one of the new individuals from that franchise was in the room, and I think as a league, and I know personally, was just excited with what that will become. That individual was great, had a lot of questions, a lot of great insight, and was drinking out of a fire hose like when you went out there. How long have you done this? 4 days. Like it was. There should be some excitement around that market. I think there's some new stuff and cool stuff coming. So.
Yeah, and even though it's under new ownership, they are going to be dormant this year, as we had announced earlier, but then come back with a vengeance, I think, in 26. So that'll open that West back up again. They'll get that venue figured out because that was the thing. We were going to be going into like more of a horse barn, which I get. That's how Iowa started out back in the day with the AFL, but not where we're at right now. So all good things.
So I think. Answer that like you would have answered that, or things you can't talk about, but things you're excited to eventually talk about. Yes.
Well, and that's just it. The thing that I'm really excited about is
the
something
thing we both can't talk about is pretty awesome. So,
and it's coming, and it's going to be great. And there was a lot of dialogue around that topic.
Hands down, the most time spent is the thing we can't tell you about. Period. On both days
I
of the meeting.
I even said to Todd, because he said, "Do you think I should?" Because he said, I have to do a release to the public on everything. I'm going to talk about the rules, and do you think I should put a teaser out there? And I'm like, if you do, I'm grabbing onto it for Blizzness, so you better make sure you know what you're saying.
It's really cool. We can't even like tip our hat to it, but it's really, really neat. And all the debate was in a healthy, everybody had very valid point of views as we figure this thing out. And that was neat, right? Like it's a very respectable group, and Kathy has said it and Todd has said it, like in the 90 minutes of on field, we got to beat the crap out of each other, but moving the league forward in that room, everybody's moving the same direction with healthy opinions and healthy reasons why, and that was neat to see. Even when somebody had a strong opinion, it was done in a classy way. So
No, that's fantastic. And we'll be able to unpack that and you'll understand once we get to that point why we couldn't talk about it, and then also kind of how it's going to develop and what that's going to look like for you guys as fans, because it really comes down to the fan base and it comes down to communication. And we'll leave it at that. Do you want to talk about anything in particular around the league meetings, or is that pretty much the synopsis of the league meetings? And then we'll go into Blizzness.
I think on things I could talk about, I mean, yeah, I think that was a synopsis, and the rule changes are out now. Yeah, I think as that starts to unfold to the public, people should have every bit want to be excited around. I mean, and we talked about it last year too, so this is no secret, but the Major League of Indoor Football, like, really establishing this league as the league for indoor football.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's always amazing to me when the IFL does something. You know, I get text messages. I was at the UWGB basketball game and ran into Nate, and his buddy was there. I think his name's RJ. RJ. And he's like, "Well, we got a question. Is it okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Come on,
Yep.
give me your question." And you know, fans are excited about the changes as well, and I think that's great engagement. And you know, if you see me in public, by all means, stop me. If I can't answer your question, I'll point you in the direction of somebody that can.
Yep.
So, anyway, all good. All right. Well, let's talk about Blizz World.
Yeah.
2 exciting things happened over the weekend, or especially since the last time we met. But in the last week, Max is back as our quarterback, and Mevis is back as our kicker.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. And so Larry sent me a text that said Mevis resigned.
Instead of re-signed.
Signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I said, "Oh, Mevis resigned?" And he's like, "Wait, what? No." And anyway, so that's big. I think that brings us up to 13 people returning, 13 or 14 even returning from last year. So if you're talking about a roster that's 25, you know, we're at the halfway plus point, which is big.
Yep.
So very excited about both of those gentlemen coming back.
Yeah, and while I was out, it's been all over the place, but new jerseys, new turf, new promos, way more fun this season. But this will be the first time you actually get to see an image of the field, and we'll throw it on
pop
screen.
that up on the screen.
We will throw the field on screen.
Yeah.
Ben and the team did a great job of showing an entire
Teasers.
stack of turf.
Yeah.
But this will be the only place you will see an image of the full field for now. Time lapse will be coming after our season ticket and corporate partners get to see it. But
yeah, and I was actually on the field, and I think you were as well. Totally different feel to it than what we've experienced in the past.
Yeah.
Those of you that have gone on the field after a game, even after it's laid flat for a while, it still has those little valleys in it from being rolled up. This has none of that. I mean, it is truly flat. I don't think it's spongier or anything like that, but very flat surface, very nice surface. It's beautiful. It was really, really nice. So we'll show you the picture that we have. It's still missing some things. There's some of our partners that aren't on it yet that have to get added. We had a little snafu with the dasher boards, which is getting worked out. So this does not include dasher boards,
Right.
But still excited.
all fun.
Yeah.
Control what you can control, and we're going to go through a season of Hobson not wigging out. All of it's getting work done, though. Come March 28th, we'll be rocking and rolling.
There you go.
And you won't even know what stress it caused behind the scenes.
No, but we're going to talk about it on here because that's the whole point of why we do this.
Absolutely. And it's not like I'm not equipped to answer some of those questions, right? The rest center is truly operationally the Blizzard when it comes to setting the arena and all that stuff. So it's been a fun process. Some good and some bad, but we are so fortunate to have a great arena in our backyard as we watch some of the other
and-
stuff transpire over this, especially this
Yeah.
past season in the league. We're
Yeah.
so grateful for the PMI team and their staff. So
Yeah, and they were excited about how easy it was and that they could pick up a panel like literally with one hand.
So
and-
I started taking photos, and I was excited but bummed because I wanted to see it in person, not via a phone photo. But then I had to quick be like, hey, can you quick send out an internal communication that we want to control how this is seen in the public? But
I
like,
did the same
Yeah,
thing.
I'm like, I got all these photos coming in. Awesome. I'm so excited, but please don't share that. That was my message. So
And I sent something to Ben like, we're going to control this,
Yeah.
so do not release any photos till we tell you that you can.
But they are so excited too, and that's just partnership at its definition. They have been outstanding since Larry and Kathy bought the team, and so many. I just remember early on where it was like we got what dates were there, and now I think proactively we're thought about. Huge shout out to Christy as
Yeah,
she's gotten to know us.
Christy, yeah.
It's been awesome. So
Yeah. Awesome. All right, let's talk a little bit about what they care about, which is the games, those first couple of games and some of the things that we're still working on
Yep.
and hoping people show up to.
yeah, so huge one because ticket links are getting created and about to be live. That's my next week or so is building all that as we approach on sale for single game, which is February 17th. Tickets will go on sale. Youth Sports Showdown because it's the first game. So if you're a youth sports organization, club, team, reach out because that's a great chance to fundraise, a great chance to earn a Blizzard pickleball paddle if you're one of the first 500 orders through for that. But just that first game due to new turf, new jerseys, Village night, pretty sure Aurora night, a lot of corporate groups have chosen that night. It's going to be pretty amazing first game.
It's going to
So
be electric.
if you have ties or a family member or something that's part of the youth sports, reach out to myself or NAP. We're still taking signups for that. And we will throughout the process too. Just I'm starting to build the first wave of links and build that whole ticket offer. So
Okay.
that will be youth jersey night. Come early. That I don't feel like we've said that.
Yeah.
153 episodes. We've told
No,
you to
we're not
come
giving
early.
it to your 16-year-old
Nope.
or 18-year-old or you because you're an adult and like it. It is for youth. And we'd like to say it's what, 12 and under?
Yep, 12 and under.
Yeah. So if your 12-year-old is 6'2", chances are they're not getting. We're just be respectful of the kids because that's who it's for. It's
Yeah.
for the youth.
And Kathy and I, even though we don't plan these episodes, talked about the episode. We just want to cover a couple things on the first three because it's 3 games within 20 days, all at home there. So I will rewind to the first away game, Friday the 21st or 21st against Quad Cities. We will have a view party in a real cool March Madness fashion with our friends at the bar group, thanks to Jess Miller, right around the Holmgren Way location with like NCAA March Madness twist to it because it's the first time in a long time that we've actually been on the road to start the season.
Right,
So
right.
we've
We're
pinged our
normally
friends over
home.
at UWGB for some prize packages, and depending on where they are in the tournament, if we can get some of their players, we don't know because we're hoping they're playing in the tournament.
Right. We don't want them there because
Right.
they're playing.
But it'll be a real cool environment because we'll have the whole side room plus the basketball games will be going on in the main bar. So it'll be a great Friday night to kick off the season and hang out as we cheer on the team on the road and then play at home next Friday. So.
And for all of you gluten-free people out there, they have gluten-free cheese curds
They do, yes.
and gluten-free wings. So, a lot of times, because my girls are both gluten-free, you go to a bar, you can't eat anything other than
Right.
maybe a salad with no croutons.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of exciting. Not that we should all be eating fried food, but hey, every once in a while, why not? So,
Yep.
yeah.
Other big event that's out there now. So we have an educator kind of get to know us appreciation thing that Knapp and I, and actually Sean, who's always behind the camera here for Strictly Blizzness, kind of sparked my intrigue to do. So Sean and his team has the ability to bring a field trip to a school now thanks to VR. So some of these schools can cut the expenses of buses and all the logistics out, and the field trip can come to you. On top of Build Your Base, who does some great things with the leagues, and we'll have a new program to share about them. And in general, how good Blizzard partnerships are for schools. It's just a night to thank our current partners. We've asked people to get the word out to existing principals and admins and just share our education story, share some of the assets and partnerships you have access to partnering to Blizzard. And
Yeah,
the response has been great. So
and it's not just about football, right? I mean, it's about so many other things.
Yep.
And this is why when we say it's not just somebody that signed up with us, they're truly partners. We're trying to get them to excel in what they do by the contacts that we have. And if you're someone that has contact, especially with young adults or young kids, school, we are somebody that you want to talk to because that's our audience. So we're making the most out of our audience and then teaming up with them. And it's a great event. So if you haven't seen it on social media, I know I shared it. There were some other people that shared it. Even the people that tagged other people in what I shared were like, hey, I think you guys
Great
have
event,
so-and-so.
Kathy.
You know, all of that. So
good
and stuff.
Huge shout out to Sean at Edge here, Hanco Supply, who's a new cleaning supply partner of ours in the Rest Center, and then Build Your Base for making that possible, and Green Bay Distillery. But this will be the last week when you see this episode to sign up because we owe final numbers. Sean and I are actually testing out the VR field trip this week, but it'll be a real cool night. And you literally have 4 Blizzard tickets and a meal. And you don't have to partner with us after you come to that thing, right? So just come learn and what's available and people that are trying to help education in the area. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so get the word out about that one. The other really cool one for Faith and Family Night on April 6th, and we've shared out the 10th Avenue North. There's a great opportunity to get involved if you're a church group or a faith-based school. There are some real cool things going on. Thrivent Financial's back in the mix, and there will be some dollars up for grabs. I'm working on the final legal verbiage for them, but if you're in that bucket of some of the private faith-based schools or a church youth group fundraising for a mission trip, you're going to want to reach out regarding that game, and we'll unpack that next episode because I was just finalizing the verbiage. It is going to be a pretty incredible event, and the buzz around 10th Avenue North, and that game might be one of the top, if not the top this year attended wise. That game is getting awesome. We're figuring how to squeeze every minute out of halftime for 10th Avenue North and what the pregame experience looks like for people who made the game happen so they get a little bit more time with them. But that game's becoming really exciting and a ticketing fun puzzle for me to piece all the church groups together and all the schools together, but really neat. So
let's go back to what's happening at the distillery. What night is that happening?
July. Whoa.
July.
That would be awesome.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Should have stayed in bed apparently. That is January 30th, and need to respond to myself, which is Ryan at Green Bay Blizzard or Naprella at greenbayblizzard.com. Go find it on social media because you can just click and message us, and Ben will connect you to one of us on social media. But we need to know from a head count standpoint, from a food, and we want to make sure we got your 4-pack just for coming, and Build Your Base, Hanco Supply, and Edge VR, so they have goodies or at least collateral information on their programs there for you.
Yeah, so by the time this episode comes out, you don't have much time. So by all means, please let us know if you're interested. Again, it's for schools, so it's principals, athletic directors, anybody that's fundraising in that arena.
Yeah, we had said principals on the event, but we just want someone there that has the ability to make the decision or can pass the word down to a team about what we're doing, right? So, yep.
Even booster clubs, are you?
Yeah, yep. There have been, a principal has connected as someone else who would be attending in their place. Yeah, that's happened a couple times so far. Yep.
Okay. All right. Obviously, our Faith and Family is always a good motivational participation. It's one of our favorite games. It's usually the game that I'm out of town for, but I'm going earlier this year, so I will be there this year. So I'm excited to be able to see it. Very excited for the band. It's going to be a great season, guys, really.
Yeah, we changed it up this year, and anytime you do that, you're like, did I miss or not?
Yeah.
But like that game, like when we go back for a team meeting today, like that game groups is running parallel to the kids night groups right now. And I'm like, unlike that game where you can't sit on tops of lasers though, like where it's truly capped, like We will be broadcasting 10th Avenue North on the video board and surround. So although you may be staring at them from behind live, you'll see it on the video board. But that game,
Right.
for the first time in the 3 years we've had an artist involved in Faith and Fellowship Night, could go to 8. Like, it literally could if it goes nuts. So
Right.
one of 2 305 games, so it's got a great early matinee feel to it. So, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. What else? I thought you said 3 games, so that's 2.
The school piece is tied to just in
Okay.
general, but also the big kids' night laser show is the April 11th game. So Kathy and I will also share, as we are given more information from PMI, what draft construction will do to parking and traffic flow. Show might, like, because it's easier to explain to you in a video than reading a 40 paragraph long post. I would encourage you to tune in and tell other people to subscribe, just so we can share information. As we know, you'll know what parking and traffic flow.
Yeah, and chances are, if you wait to get your tickets by coming to see us, that's going to affect you.
Yeah.
Not to mention, as it gets closer to the draft, we probably won't be in the office.
Correct.
Because it's just going to be a hassle to even get there, let alone have you get there, because we're right in the heart of. Are we in the?
We're like literally 10 feet outside of the most recent security radius.
Okay.
So yes, we can go to work, but getting there is a completely different story. So yeah.
So anyway, okay. I don't really want to talk about the draft. You know how you all know how I feel about it. NFL, you got to do it. I don't know if Green Bay is the right city for it, but we'll see. I guess we'll know when it's over if it was the right call.
Yeah.
So definitely a historic venue for them to come to, and one that's always talked about. It's right in the middle of a city block, and it's not like we have tons of skyscraper hotels that you can go to. Yes, we've built some and so on and so forth, but in order to support that many people, you need to have restaurants. You need to have places for them to stay. You know, there's so many things.
Yep.
Porta potties.
Yeah.
You know, we need all of that. So anyway, all good.
That was an action-packed, haven't been here in over a month episode.
Yeah, all good stuff. And I don't think we have anything real social to unpack. There's movies that are coming up that we need to get to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
That's what I got.
That's what I've got.
Should we elbow so I don't high five you or what? Like,
Oh, we're gonna do
is it?
How about we just get? We are not doing that. Jeez. No, we're gonna kind of do a
Zoom. We're gonna Zoom.
Yeah, we're gonna Zoom it. We'll just have Sean add the clap as you know, kind of like a POW Zoom.
Yeah.
In a comic
Yep.
book with that was an actual clap.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes.
Yes. Should we hit him with it?
Let's hit him with it.
Go Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
Subscribe,
share.
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.